friends, as I promised, we are starting this edition of This is Exclusive with a huge breaking news development which is being brought to you by Shravan Sen, our senior editor, and who also overlooks investigations, speaks to agencies, and he's bringing this information that the agencies, including the CBI and perhaps some others, are already working on some leads, and those leads connect the cash that was found burnt at the outhouse of Justice Varma's official residence in Latian's Delhi to some middlemen, some possible arms dealers, as also others. Lens on prominent lawyer, one lawyer who's working in the High Court, Delhi High Court, Supreme Court circuit, and then of course a couple of middlemen. Let's go straight to Shravan for more details on this. Shravan, that's huge. This essentially means, Shravan, that the cash had some origin. The reports of cash being there as part of some transaction are not baseless, and that the agencies which you have spoken to have some leads. Please share the details.
Well, in fact, Abhishek, this afternoon, when you brought us the story about multiple agencies working on this entire matter, we had at that point in time also brought this information that there is a fixer gang lobby that operates in the national capital, which basically includes a lawyer. We're being told that is also connected to certain media personalities. Now, what is important to point out here is this. One, the fact that the origin of this entire cash, that is exactly what is being looked into by the central agencies parallelly, because remember, at some point in time, they believe that this will require some sort of a thorough investigation. It turns out that there is a link of an active lawyer in the national capital. Apart from that, a real estate developer, also an arms agent, who is basically under the scanner. In fact, they're looking at whether at all this cash has actually come in from them. Now, these are certain aspects that are being looked into. Apart from that, there is also another interesting development. However, whether at all this is linked or not, we'll have to wait and watch, because there is the official word coming in from the central agency. Now, one of the real estate developers that we are talking about, the central agencies have carried out some searches. We are being told that searches have been carried out. We do not have the details of which case is this linked to, but surprisingly, his name is also surfacing in this cash recovery that has been made. So there are some indirect connections that are basically emerging right now. But having said that, this entire theory that is being made or peddled by a section within the legal fraternity, that this is some sort of a larger conspiracy, and the fact that this was found in the storeroom has got nothing to do with Justice Varma. Remember, all of this cannot be taken at face value, and that is the reason why the agencies are basically investigating at their own level. Particularly, you have the intelligence agencies looking into this entire thing of how the cash came in. That is the reason why, remember, the visitor logbook is being looked into. The other two areas that are being looked into is the call data record. In fact, that details have already been shared, is what I'm being told, to the Chief Justice of the Delhi High Court. Apart from that, the internet data protocol record, that is a crucial aspect that has also been asked for. That is the usage of internet in the terminals that are being used by Justice Varma and his staff members. Now, that data is being collected, it's being collated, but that is going to take some time, is what I'm being told. Perhaps a report on this is expected to come in sometime next week. So while you have this internal inquiry that is being carried out, the central agencies also, Abhishek, looking into these aspects, and some of these names who are part of the fixer gang or the fixer lobby also being looked into.
Right, Shravan, that's a huge information, of course. So we cannot name names yet, because obviously the agencies are still calling these leads as calling this development as leads, and they are already working on those names. But the fact is, Shravan, that this has become big. Before I let you go, one final quick question. You think over the next 48 hours, because you've spoken to sources, they are confident that they would be able to name names?
Well, one of the biggest limitation is that there is no official complaint as yet that basically prevents any of the agencies, starting from the Delhi police, to carry out any formal investigation. But having said that, remember, we already have the central agencies parallelly looking into this matter. That's part of the protocol, because this has happened at the residence of a sitting judge. There is already a conspiracy that is being, a theory that is being peddled, that perhaps the money was kept by someone else at the storeroom of a sitting judge. And that is the reason why you are already seeing the central agencies being looked into. That's the reason why we know that there are certain leads that have emerged so far. Right. Now, the names coming out, perhaps it can only come out when there is a formal investigation that has been launched, and thereafter the names are revealed.
Right. Thank you so much, Shravan, with those details. In fact, I can tell you, viewers, that Shravan has those names, but those names are being withheld only and only because the agencies are still calling them very early leads. But then they have them, and that they are working on them, possibly even already carrying out some searches at some locations. Thank you so much, Shravan, for joining us and bringing us up to speed with those developments. And